this podcast, we're going to go over setting up your Maya scene to begin animating. So here we have the ANSI character, and whether you're using ANSI or one of the other characters that we provide for you, you're going to want to start out by opening that character up. That means double clicking on the actual Maya file and not simply dragging the Maya file into the Maya window. That's going to import it. We want to always start with having the character open, and then we're going to import the scene in around the character. This will ensure that everyone stays with the same controls for their mail button, so that when you submit your work, then all the instructors have mail buttons they can use to easily check your work. So with the character here, it's going to go to File, Import in the option box, and we don't need to have the background under a group. We are going to keep checked on the namespaces. This is simply going to put the name of the file name in front of all of the objects that are in the scene that we're importing. So this will help get rid of any clashing namespaces or anything like that. I'm going to navigate to where our actual scene file is saved. And now we have our scene file. Now, as you notice, the scene file should be positioned so that it imports around the character, so that when the character walks forward, you don't have to do any serious repositioning for the character. So the character can start at the origin, and he should be able to walk forward to interact with whatever object is in the scene file with minimal fuss. If you do need to move the character around, you can come down here and select the large circle beneath him that's called placement only. This is for initial placement in the scene only. You will not be animating this control at all. You won't put any keys on this control. It is not something that you're going to be animating in your scene. This is only to get the character's initial placement in the scene. And I'd highly recommend only using it to just translate the character into place. So if you need the character to start a bit further back, a bit further forward, maybe a little bit off to the side or whatnot, then use this control to set up the initial placement of the scene. Once you have that initial placement, the character is going to walk away from this control. Now, we'll be showing all of our podcasts in a 3-pane view. This is so that we can see the graph editor, but also keep an eye on what the poses look like in our camera shot while we're animating. So to do that, go up to Panels, Layouts, 3 panes, Split Top. This is going to create a 3-pane view with the top panes being split in 2. Okay, so you can see this puts a graph editor down here. This may not be what popped up on yours. Perhaps another window popped up, such as one of the orthographic views or something like that. But that's fine because we're going to change around what we need here. I'm going to keep my perspective over here. So you can see if I go to Panels Perspective, my perspective camera, that's the one I'm going to leave there. This window I want to be my camera shot. So I'm going to come over here to Perspective and take my shot cam. And that's going to be the shot we're looking at for our staging. And obviously we want to have this as our graph editor. Now you may find you want to go ahead and save this so that you can quickly get back to it when necessary. And to do that, once again we're going to go up to Panels and go up to Save Layouts and Edit Layout. Now from here, just going to hit the New Layout button, and it's going to give me panel configuration, so forth, so forth. I'm going to rename this. So once I rename that, it's basically taking this layout that we've just created with our graph editor, our shot cam, and our perspective camera here. So we have that. We do have the option of adding it to our shelf. But in reality, I'm going to add it over here to the right with all our other camera buttons here. So I'm going to close that. So for instance, now if I'm in perspective, now I can go to saved layouts and scroll all the way down to here, and you can see that the one we just created is down there, and it's going to bring it back up again. If I come over here to the left here on one of the buttons, our panel layouts, if I right click, I can choose to bring that up again. So our anim layout will bring that up. You see there's no button here for it. If I again right click and go to change image, you can choose one of the pre-provided images for this, or if you want to create something new, you can always make a new one. I'm just going to choose something that looks like 3-pane split top with 2 windows at the top, 1 window on the bottom. So I'm just pick that as a generic right there and just save it. So this way I can always click on this button if I need to get back to this panel view. So whether I'm in perspective or 4-pane view, I can click back on this and get back to the actual shot that I want to be animating in.